We're on Highway 470 Southwest Denver. Now we're on Highway 285. We're going to take this down just a little ways. Okay, we're on 285. We're about to turn left here at this stoplight. This will be Pine Valley Road. And this seems to be a better way to enter Forest Road 550 is from this side that I found. I've done both ways now. All right, we're going to do some cold weather camping. It's supposed to be below freezing tonight up here at this spot where we're going. Check out some of our new techniques and arrangements and see if it makes any difference. Hopefully I can get the camera to focus. We're looking right into the sun. So we're about to make our turn onto Redskin Creek Road, Forest Road 550 here. Take a right. As you can see, this work goes into a dirt road. Let me show you this campsite that I got. Boy, what a view. This is in the Pine, Colorado area. That road you see right there. That is Redskin Creek Road, Forest Road 550. This is my third time down here. Now this one is special here because I've been eyeballing this one campsite that I've been trying to get, site number 13. I believe it to be the best one. Let me show you around a little bit. There's the actual spot where you could put a tent. If you got a tent, I will be car camping, so I'll be staying in that. But I could pull way up in here. It's off the road enough I don't hear the cars sounding like they're about to run into me in the middle of the night when they go by. So it's good and off the road a little bit. Got a fire ring. Got my little camp stove set up on top there. And I cook dinner here in a moment. But it's got hiking trails, or maybe they're bear trails, I don't know. It is November. I'm hoping the bears have started to hibernate or at least go in a little bit. So maybe I won't encounter one. If I do, I shall hurl insults and harsh criticisms until he goes away. Here's the little lot. I mean, you can actually get several cars in here if you were in a group, or several little campers in this one spot. And it's cool because it has its own entrance right here, and this road only leads to this campsite right here. Let me walk out to the road. And the good thing about this one, well, several good things, but the main thing I like about this one, I get just a little bit of cell phone signal here. I have T-Mobile, which has terrible service just about everywhere. But anything beyond Site 13, it does not work. Now, so yeah, if you were going to pick one, the best three are 11, 12, and 13, with 11 and 13 being the top. Here we are in November, and this place is nearly deserted. There is one camper just a little ways down there. And if you look off in the distance, you can see snow caps right there. But here we are, campsite number 13. Try not to get that sun directly into the lens, otherwise you won't be able to see much. Yeah, this is a good spot. I rolled in here about 3 p.m. Let's see, what time is it now? Yep, it's about 3:11 p.m. The time change has already taken place. Hopefully in the future they'll stop doing that. I would very much like to see daylight savings time go away. But it gets dark really early now. So yep, here we are. So you might be wondering why I keep coming back to this one spot, or this one general area. I'm in a different camping spot each time, but I've just been basically trying to find the right combination of things so when I go out on a long trip in this vehicle, I'll have everything down to an art. So I'll go a few days at these spots, refine my techniques. It is currently, right now, it is 31 degrees Fahrenheit, right at 0 centigrade. So yeah, I'm trying to get this down to a routine where I can take some good long trips. I'm all about going out and seeing as much as I can see. It seems to be a good way to do it. Another campsite down that way. There's a lot of good hiking trails around here. If you're not familiar with this area, the Colorado Trail goes right alongside this road and then dips inward. Very nice spot to go hiking. I'll put a lid on this thing, helps heat up a little faster. When it's super cold out here like it is. This fire ring right here makes a good platform to put your stove on. That way it doesn't get grease all over your table if you got one. Bacon, look at that. Ooh. And this to go with it. Ooh. Alright, let me give a quick walkthrough with my setup here. So on the very top, I've got my solar panel up on the very top there. It's a 100-watt solar panel. It was about $70 US on Amazon.com. And I've got it where I can take it off easily. Sometimes I'll mount it out in front of the car. Right now I'm just going to, I think for this trip, for the convenience sake, just leave it up there. It seems to do quite well, even though it's not tilted. It seems to charge the battery pretty good. So I've got the battery in this thing here. And I got to charge my drone batteries right there for the moment. And I've got my bed here. Memory foam mattress folded in half. Couple blankets on there. I don't use a sleeping bag typically. They're harder to wash. I'm just trying to go for easy, simple, cheap. Not so much camping, even though these past few trips have turned into camping trips. I mainly go out just so I can see stuff, and then this is the way to do it. I'm trying to refine the process at the moment, like I was mentioning earlier. So let me go around the back. The seats, they fold down into the floor, so it's a nice spot to store stuff down there. I got extra blankets if it gets really cold. And I keep one seat typically up like this so I can watch movies or do whatever at night. That is a clip there. Well, let's say a clip. What do you call that? A hanger for the tablet. That's what that is there. It's on the back of the seat so I can see it. And then I've got an electric blanket. It's 12 volts electric, not house power, but battery power type electric. I do have on the box there an inverter, but it is much more efficient to do it on the DC side where you don't convert, DC power from the battery to AC that goes in to this plug and then into your AC electric blanket. It's way more efficient to go DC into the DC blanket, and it easily gets me through the night for power. And then usually by 10 o'clock in the morning the next day, the solar panel has recharged the battery pack. So even running it all night, it doesn't turn off. It doesn't have a timer on it. I hate the ones that turn off after 2 or 4 hours. I don't want to have to wake up every few hours and turn it back on. It doesn't get really hot, but if it's underneath you, that's all you need. It'll keep you warm all night. And it gets pretty cold. I've had it... excuse me, getting a cold here. I've had it under me and used it all night on previous trips, and it got down well below freezing, and I was just fine, even without a sleeping bag. So yep. And then this minivan is a 2007 Toyota Sienna. It's been a really good one. Never had any problems with it. Makes a great camper. So yeah, so let me go out to the side here. So yeah, you can get an idea. There's the panel. Give you an idea of the railing that it's mounted on, and that little, got some paracord in the front. That is just a precautionary measure until I'm sure that the little bolts aren't going to back out when I'm going down the road. That's a 550 cord. That should hold it if it does come loose on me, until I can pull to the side of the road. It won't hit the guy behind me. Yep, that's my setup so far. Use a little butane cook stove to cook my food on, and ooh, what a view. I had to stop and pause for a moment there. Yeah, I cook my food on a butane cook stove. I have a fold-out table that I bought at Costco, and most of the stuff I have is not really camping stuff. It's stuff from the house, and you'll notice if you look at this window there, the driver's window, it is just a piece of cardboard. It's going to be black next time you see it, I hope. I'm going to spray paint the outer parts black, but I just cut out cardboard just for the sake of ease and being cheap. I don't have to worry about heating the whole car up. I just heat me up in the car with that electric blanket at night when it's really cold. In the daytime, it's not bad. I can actually, if I wanted to sit in here and do some work on the computer, I could do that because the sun coming through the windows, the car actually warms up pretty good. So, yep, very comfortable. Can't complain. Alright, the sun is just going down over the mountains there. Just a little bit longer of daylight today. I'm sure somebody will ask, so I'll just go ahead and put it up front. This is the electric blanket that I'm using here in the car by Stalwart. And it's got a, let's see if I can, that's in the middle. It's got an automotive style, like the old cigarette lighter plugs. And I just happen to have that in my battery box over there that I've installed. So I just plug it into the battery box. I wouldn't use this on my car battery because you never know if you'll run your battery dead overnight. You don't want to get stuck. Can't start your engine the next day. So yep, another Amazon purchase there. Doesn't get really hot, but it doesn't need to. And the fact that it doesn't get really hot means you could leave it on all night without having to switch it on or off or anything like that. It doesn't have a thermostat, but seems to work pretty good for what I'm using it for. All right. It's starting to get dark outside. And with that, it's getting really cold. Not much else to see today. So, enjoy some video games here in the car. Ooh. All-time favorites from the 80s. Frogger. Got one. And if you saw my, ooh, went in the water. If you saw my last video, I had this tablet. This is a cheap Amazon Fire tablet. And when I say cheap, $34 US. Just got it about a month ago. It's not the most recent model, it's a previous model. That's why it was so cheap. That and because it's an Amazon tablet. But it's good for stuff like this. You can repurpose it and make it into a little arcade machine. And I'm using a wireless controller, PlayStation 4 controller. And these are the actual copies of the games that was in the arcade cabinets. So if you'll notice, it's on demo mode now, but if I hit the trigger, see where it says credit 1 in the bottom? That's where it thinks someone just dropped a quarter into the arcade cabinet. And then you hit the start button, and you're off. Yep. If you do happen to have one of these old tablets or any Android tablet, you can download this software that can run these images of these old arcade cabinets. The software is called MAME, M-A-M-E. It stands for Multiple Arcade Machine Emulator. Oh, I am just terrible at this game. Good time here to brush up on this. I just pretend that never happened. Look at that beautiful sunset over the Rockies. Very nice. Probably should have showed this while it was good in daylight. It's starting to get dark, but this little camera, it's a cheap web camera, and while I can barely get a little bit of signal out here, it's not enough to make this thing work. But it's got an SD card in it. So anything it records, it'll record to that SD card even if it doesn't have a signal. So I brought it with me. It's like a $20 home surveillance camera from Wyze, WYZE.com. Great little security cameras, but I'm going to use this to see if anything comes up in the middle of the night like a bear or any kind of animals. Be interesting to see what's lurking about at night when you're sleeping. So thought I'd show that real quick. It's starting to get dark out here. It is sure enough dark out here now. Got the YouTube going on the inside. Come out to see if the sky was clear enough to see some stars, and I do see a few. Although they're not picking up well on this camera. Alright, it is 25 degrees Fahrenheit or about -3 Celsius. Whew, a little chilly this morning. It is 15 degrees Fahrenheit. But it was pretty warm under the electric blanket. So it's proven to be an effective strategy for the cold nights. Yeah, it is a little chilly. Alright, and there are the GPS coordinates of this place. I'll try to get a picture of it so it's not shaky. One last look before we head down the road. We're going to be heading towards Buena Vista on the next run. And we only stayed here one night this time. Great spot. This is camping site 13 on Forest Road 550. Check it out.